you'll hear yourself interrupting me not once, but twice. Right. I think it's 77 this morning, isn't it? Right, anyway, don't be using a tennis ball. Do not use a tennis ball. I forgot my blooming, I thought today, I don't need my bag. And what have I got in my bag, like I say religiously every day? My wee massage ball. So luckily I've got a tennis ball. Now, a tennis ball, you can use it, but it's like trying to sweep up your pavement with a rake, okay? It does the job, but it's not as good, okay? So if you see me using the tennis ball, don't be thinking, oh no, where's my tennis ball? That is why I'm using my tennis ball. Okay, I forgot my massage ball. So you be using your massage ball. Problem with a tennis ball is, you can see, you can crush it, it's flexible. When you start pushing it into the muscle and it starts hitting the bone, it's going to start molding around the muscle and bone, okay? So it defeats the purpose. We need that solid massage ball. So it'll do, but just in case you see me using this, don't go and run and grab a tennis ball, use your massage ball. So, mobility overhaul number 77, this is a damn good one, okay? People who are on their feet all day, people with bad ankle mobility, people with problems down on the lower part of your legs, okay? It's a good one. Now, as always, it doesn't mean to say that you do this class once and that's you fixed for life, okay? We do the class, if you find problem areas, you extract those problem areas and you start building your own mobility overhaul routine, okay? So just because we do this today doesn't mean to say that's you fixed. If you find problems or you've got problems, the idea of this class is you keep loading it up, you keep using it, you keep taking the bits out that feel helpful to you and use it as much as you can. Wow, I'm on fire this morning. That's the best introduction I've ever done in my life. Right, and on that note, grab your massage ball, get yourself sat on the floor, okay? And what we're gonna do, this is a bit of a horrible one. It's gonna feel like nervy, horrible, almost like toothache kind of pain. We're going to be smashing the shins. Now, this is where I want you to grab, get your hands and don't be shy. Get in there and start pushing into your lower leg, okay? And what you'll find is your bone running down the front, okay? We're not using bone names, etc. We're just going for bone, right? And then in behind, as you can see where I am, you'll feel that you can push in behind your shin bone. You feel that there? You can push right in behind it, all the way from just under your knee joint, all the way down until you hit your ankle bone, okay? That is the area in which we're going to be working. Now, I'll come a bit closer so you can see. So, this area coming from in here, you can see the bone, I can push in, it's not nice, but I'm going to be working all the way up in behind that bone, and the idea is, with my ball, I'm pushing in and using that bone as a kind of hard surface to push against. Okay, so I'm kind of pushing in and forward into the bone, okay, so that's important. Let's make that happen. Now, the position you're on the floor, you really want to be getting this leg on the floor as best you can. Now, if you're pretty damn tight in the glutes, you might find that you can't do it that way, okay? So you need to find a way in which you can get the whole leg, the whole lower leg on the floor, nice and chilled, okay? I'm not in a stressed position here, and this muscle is relaxed. Happy? Good, we've gone that far. Get the massage ball, and what we're going to do is start off, find your ankle bone, okay? You can see it probably. Push the ball into it, okay? And straight away, all we're going to be doing is scrubbing, okay? So with this, it's just a matter of, this is me exaggerating the scrubbing movement. We're just going to be doing little circles as we push hard in. So I'm pushing down and forwards, okay? So you feel yourself getting behind the bone and then pushing in to the bone, okay? Now, this isn't comfortable. This isn't a case of you just sitting in your living room going, oh, 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 oh. Get into it and get the work done, okay? Now, I'm pushing hard in there. If you hit a trigger point, okay, as in, oh, okay, it hurts like hell, push into it. Stop scrubbing, push into it hard, and then start scrubbing, okay? So it's a combination of pinning that sore spot, pushing it down hard, okay? And I want you to keep this going. We're going to be spending at least 3 minutes here, okay? And the idea is I'm working up the entire length of my shin bone until I hit the knee joint, okay? But don't rush it. If you hit a really tender spot, for most people, okay, most people, especially runners, etc., people putting a lot of impact on their feet, you'll probably find the vast majority of the pain is on the lower third, okay, towards the ankle joint itself, okay, and then probably going a wee bit further up. So if it's feeling painful, get stuck in there. Now, hopefully, well, it depends what you're wearing, but what I want you to do, especially if you're just skin on ball, as in you don't have trousers on, I want you to twist, okay? So see when you find a trigger point, I want you to screw the ball up. Now, it doesn't work with my tennis ball, but with your massage ball, because it's rubber, what it'll do is grip the skin and take up all the slack from the skin, okay? That's what we want. Doesn't feel nice, does it? Okay, especially if you've got hairy legs. Yep, you rubbing your nose. You know I'm talking about. Right. So maybe it was a good idea to shave your legs prior to this class. Okay, let's get back to business. I'm pushing in. I'm scrubbing the hell out of this. It doesn't feel nice. Okay, this is my way of taking my mind off it, talking nonsense. So get stuck into it and just keep working your way up. If you start working your way up and you feel that the worst part was where you started, go back to where you started. Remember, we're concerning ourselves with the areas at high pain. Now, this is nasty, but it has to be as nasty as you can handle. Okay, if you're just pushing on this and it feels okay, or it feels not very nice, it's not enough, okay, you want to be borderline, okay, but relative to what we're doing, okay, so you don't want to be causing yourself damage, but get to know your body. Get up that full length of the shin as well. Now, what you can do, if you feel a particularly difficult spot, as in it's really bad, really tender, push hard into it, keep your scrubbing going. And what we can do here, we can do a bit of smashing and flossing, because where am I? Okay, I've got a joint either side. Now this one's moving the knees, not really going to do much. Okay, but if I start lifting my toes up, I might pass out. But if you lift your toes up, okay, while trying to keep that relaxed, and then point your toes away. So by lifting and pushing the toes away, you can kind of do a bit of a smashing and flossing technique, okay? But only if it feels it's working for you. So remember, we're only on this for 3 minutes roughly, so please get into it, make the most of it. If it feels horrible, get into it all the more. Now this is an important one for runners as well, okay? This is where we get a lot of tightness, a lot of tack down muscle tissue, okay? Now, it's a good preventative measure for shin splints. It's not a cure, okay? By which point you've got them, it's a bit too late, okay? Don't mean to say that you've got them for life. I mean, this is preventative stuff we're doing today, okay? So it's a good idea. Get stuck into these shins. Now, this muscle that we're massaging, or we're smashing, should we say, this is also a key component. Oh, I'm on a sore spot. Okay, this is a key component in trying to create that arch of the foot. So you see when I'm telling you when we're squatting to drive the toes into the ground to create that arch in the foot, if this muscle's jammed up tight, that's going to limit your ability to be able to create that arch. So if you struggle, okay, if you're fairly flat-footed, or you struggle to get stability in your foot when you're squatting, again, here's the inspiration. Inspiration, if you like. Here's the incentive. Get stuck into it, okay? Now, I would say I'm starting to get to the top third, so I'm nearly there, okay? We're just going off of the time it's taken me. So if you've done the full length, go back to the areas that feel like the most. There's no point spending time here on areas of low pain, okay? You get onto those areas of high pain and you get stuck in. You twist that ball to take up the slack in the skin. You push in, you push forward, and you try to scrub as best you can, okay? Tolerating it and trying to relax as best you can. But like I say, it's a strange type of pain we've got here. Good. So we keep going for it, we keep scrubbing. Good work. Okay, for the last 30 seconds, I want you to focus on the worst areas. Okay, we're going to do it now. Last 30 seconds, focus on the worst areas, wherever they are for you. Those areas that make you almost wince in pain, that's what we're after. Okay, get stuck into them. Not a nice feeling, is it? Different type of pain, different type of area. So this is a good example of a lot of the time when people are foam rolling or doing their mobility work, they only focus on the big muscle groups that we know, like the quads, the hamstrings, the glutes, the calves, the ones that we can prominently see, okay? For a lot of people, they wouldn't even have known that this area existed. They wouldn't even have known that this level of pain was potentially in there until they start pushing in there. So let that be a lesson to you, okay? Any area you've got soft tissue, you've got all that muscle tissue, get exploring, okay? Especially if you're struggling with injuries. Right, relax there, okay? If you need to stand up or you need to shake out, by all means do so. But we're just going to start getting straight into the next leg as soon as you're ready. So again, do your best, get in the best position you can. I'm just in a kind of a lazy glute stretch position here, if you like. It's important. We need to be able to push down into the ground, okay? So being able to push down is important, but if you're pretty damn tight and you find that knee's just lifted off the ground and trying to get it down hard, you're going to struggle, okay? So try to find the best possible place for you. So again, I'm going to start just down above the ankle joint, okay? And just begin there, my little scrubbing. Push down, Okay, so you don't need to push down mega hard. Just push down to apply a bit of pressure, start your scrubbing, work your way up, and then as soon as you find that area of high pain, that's when you stop. That's when you start really focusing and pushing in. So remember, we've only really got 3 or 4 minutes on here. So rather than fart about with the areas that feel a wee bit tender, you're looking for the areas that feel horrific, okay? Those areas that you're like, oh, well, maybe I don't want to push too hard in here. Those are the ones you really want to be focusing on here, okay? So concern yourself with the areas of high pain, just working up the borderline of that shin bone. And use the shin bone, okay? Use the shin bone. So when you find that tender area, push down and then push it forward so that it's getting smashed into that shin bone as you scrub. Doesn't sound nice, doesn't feel nice, but oft it's going to put some goodness back into these bodies. It's a very important one, okay? So ankle mobility goes a bit further. I'm just talking the way I always do through these classes, maybe filling your head with nonsense or maybe helping you out in some way or other. But ankle mobility can be a lot more technical than just simply stretching out your ankles on a stair or up against a wall, okay? There's a lot of key parts, okay, that may be affecting your poor ankle mobility. And as I always say, if you find that you're having problems, maybe you're out walking, out running, and you feel tenderness in your lower leg, okay, you start to feel maybe your shins a wee bit sore, ankles are hurting, okay, then I would be doing all of this. I'd be looking at the whole area rather than just do a few half-arsed ankle stretches. Do a bit of this stuff, okay? Find the areas that are hurting. And I'm pretty sure for most people, the one that we're doing right this second is pretty damn horrific. So prevention, that's all we're trying to do. Keep the muscles nice and supple. Don't let them stiffen up. Because they will, if you let them. And then with that stiffened up, you're going to start restricting the movement of the joints. You're going to start changing the way you move. Okay, your body's going to start doing all sorts of crazy, clever things, like compensating how you move, putting stress on different joints, different muscle groups, different areas of your body to compensate. Over time, okay, you start getting a sore pelvis, sore hip. You just think, oh, I've got a sore pelvis, I've got a sore hip, so I'm going to start doing loads of smashing and flossing and foam rolling and stretching of my hip. But in actual fact, that could be stemming from the fact that your ankle's tight, okay? Maybe you've strained, maybe you've sprained your ankle in previous life, okay, and your body's been compensating for so long, and now it's starting to show. So it's important, don't just focus on the area that's painful, that's causing you jip. Chances are if you've got an injury, there's a good chance it's caused by somewhere else in your body. But again, that's what I would tell you. Go and see someone that knows what they're talking about. Don't come to me. Don't send me a message asking what's wrong with you. I don't know. It's not my job. Right, let's go. People get paid a hell of a lot more than me for that kind of stuff. But like I say, you can kind of see things coming on, so don't ignore them. If you start getting problems and pain, again, for example, in your lower leg, start addressing it early, okay? Because when you start going out, you'll start altering your brain. It's clever, okay? Very clever. It'll start compensating. It'll start changing how you move to the point where you don't even realize. And quite often or not, people will get a video taken of them and they'll go, what? Did I really run like that? I'm running like this, okay? But you feel in your head that you're centralized, that you're running like this, but you're running along like this. That's my kind of point, okay? And that's a lot of these people that go and get their gait analysis done. A lot of the time you can feel that you're central because that's what your brain will do, make you think, yep, boom. But in actual fact, you can be very lopsided. Right, last 30 seconds. Okay, so make sure you're staying close to that shin bone. Don't venture into the calves because that's a different area altogether, everyone. So this is it now, you go for it. Those areas of high pain, you are pushing down on them hard, you are scrubbing the hell out of them, and you are just trying to go for it now, make the most of it, like this is the last time you could ever be able to do it. And it's just another way. Try and get your mobility fed in. If you feel you don't have the time, you definitely do have the time. Okay, if you're sitting doing other things, there's no reason why you can't jump down on the floor. If you're sitting watching your telly at night, jump down on the floor, okay? Do this stuff. If you're getting bothered down here, do a bit of this stuff. You can definitely throw it in. There's always time to do it. Some areas are a lot easier to do than others. Right, okay, boom. Get that ball off to the side. Now we're going to stretch out. We're going for a good old stretch from the side. It looks like this. Okay, from the front, it looks like this. In fact, I'll show you from the front first. Take your time here, okay? I want you to slowly ease in, and all I'm doing is just, you can see where I'm just showing you from the front quickly. You can see where my knees are, okay? Roughly shoulder width apart. You'll be able to see exactly what's going on from this side. Okay, it's a familiar stretch, so if you're happy and you know what you're doing, get stuck into it. If you're not, listen in to this key point. What I'm trying to do is stretch out the front of my shins, that muscle running up the front. Okay, so this area here that I'm putting my hand underneath, that's the area that I'm trying to get down flat to the ground. So the top of my foot is flush, my toes are pointing away, okay, and most certainly not up like this. So point those toes away from you, get the top of the foot on the ground, depending how tight things are, okay, will dictate how well you can achieve that. And then all I want you to do is just slowly start tracking back, okay? So you're trying to get your bum back, so you don't want to be too wide, okay? We don't want to be too wide to the point where your hamstring is coming away in here, for example, like this, and your foot's away out there, because that's going to put bad strain on the knees, okay? I'm trying to get my foot as close to being as straight behind my knee as I can, while just leaving a wee bit of room for my big fat arse to get down in between, okay? So what I don't want to do is end up sitting on my heels. Okay, so I want to leave enough room for my butt to be able to go beyond. Now this is where, if things are pretty damn jammed up tight, you might need to give it a wee bounce just to help it relax. Okay, if you focus on your breathing, think about what we're trying to do. This area here, I'm trying to get the weight down, I'm trying to make it sink into the ground. Pain in the knees is a no-no, okay? So if you're getting pain in your knees, ease out to a point where you're not getting pain in your knees. If that doesn't happen, just stop doing the stretch now, okay? But it's excruciatingly uncomfortable, this one, if you don't do it very often. So all the more reason to get stuck into it. Now, you are just simply trying to get more weight down, okay, into the target area that we're stretching. So focus on your breathing. And then what you can do is experiment. You can lean back, but I don't want you to lean back too far yet. We're going the full hog today. So if that feels like it's getting a better stretch, good. If you go back and it feels like, oh man, this is too much, it's too much, then ease back out, because it doesn't work if you're shaking out. Okay, so try to relax. It'll be uncomfortable, especially if you're not in the habit of doing it, but try your best to relax, okay? And as always, if you do find this one excruciatingly uncomfortable, it's really hard to get into the position, okay, then just start doing it. Start doing it regular, and very quickly, you'll get into it, no bother. So this isn't exactly comfortable, but it's one that I do regular, so it's not too bad, okay? But I remember when I first done this one, it was like, oh my God. Okay, now if you've been holding this a wee while, what I want you to do is really take it to the next level. What I want you to do is try to imagine that you're pushing down that hard that you're trying to lift your knees off the ground. Okay, and you'll feel that that just adds a whole new level of stretch to it. But again, you have to be careful. So what I'm really doing now is try to lift my knees. So I think about my knees. Okay, do they move? Nah. But by trying to lift my knees, I'm putting a lot more weight and pressure down onto my feet. So I'm taking this stretch to a whole new level. Again, this is a bit more advanced. So if you're feeling it too much, just ease out. But go for it. Make the most of it. Don't feel pain in your knees. Do not feel pain in your knees. Lift the toes. Lift the toes. Don't lift the toes. Lift the knees. Okay. 20 seconds. Focus on the breathing. Zone out. Get your wee to-do list ticking over in your head. What do I need to do today? Check, 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 check. Boom. Well, that's right. It hurts. Okay, so that's how it works. We're ready to ease out. Now, when you're easing out, especially if you're in the extreme position I'm in, try to start moving forward equally. Okay, so don't start going to the sides and start rolling out of this one, because we don't want to start putting horrible strain on our joints. So I'm just going to start coming forward slowly, slowly, back onto my hands. Start pushing my hands into the ground as I fall forwards. Okay, so I'm going to start leaning forwards. Now, this is going to feel horrendous when you come back out of it, probably. We've restricted the blood flow massively in those joints, okay? So I want you just to slowly, Take your time and stand up and walk around. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is shins in the bag done. Okay, so I want you to walk around, get a sip of water, whew, have a wee chill moment. Okay, and let's get into the next part. Good, everybody. Right, next up, boom, boom, boom. Foam rollers at the ready. Okay, big muscle group. We're trying to attack as much of the surface area as we possibly can, so the foam roller's superior in that sense. Okay, if you find you've got a lot of problems, then it's also good to use the ball. Use the ball, see if it gets in there a bit more. Okay, but for this area, in this instance, we're going to use the foam roller. Now, if you've got a foam roller, I say it every time, my foam roller is quite distinct, as in it's got mountains and valleys, mountain and valley. Other ones are alternate, so there's not really any escaping. But if you've got one like mine, where it's just a simple mountain and then a valley, then I want you to try and get the mountain peak right in the bottom of your ankle. Okay, so we're going for ankles into calves now. So this is going to be a long one. So we're going to be working the entire length of the lower leg. We do not want to be foam rolling behind the knee. Do not go behind the knee joint, okay? You get to the top, just where the joint is, and that's as far as you go. Are we clear? And when you're going down, okay, as soon as you start to come off the muscle onto that exposed part of your Achilles, we don't want to be pushing down into that either. Okay, so when I'm starting here, I'm just simply starting, put it right on the heel, feel that Achilles, move up a wee bit until it starts to hit into that muscle, hit, got the muscle tissue, boom, there we go. This is a very familiar one, okay? So you know the drill, get stuck into it. I'm giving you 4 or 5 minutes now to do the full lower leg. So you know all the techniques we're at now. I'm starting, and all I'm going to do is work the full width, okay? So you can see I have to roll excessively until I hit, boom, I hit that bone, okay? So I'm going the full hog. Now, again, I'm focusing on those areas of high pain, but trying to get some goodness into the whole muscle tissue. So as I'm going side to side, okay, pardon me, there we go. Right, okay, side to side. It feels awful. Okay, and then when I start to feel that area of real tender high pain, that's when I go. Don't waste time easing yourself in gently. Push down hard into it and just start scrubbing it, okay? Scrub the entire length and width of where the area feels real sore, okay? It can be small, it can be large. For me right now, it's quite a large area, so I'm going for it, okay? I'm trying to use the foam roller to break up all that tied up tight muscle tissue. That's all I'm doing, okay? Trying to restore that suppleness and get it into a nice relaxed state. So think about it and make it happen. Now, when you feel you can, or if you can, get that other leg on top as soon as you can to get more weight down on it. But if you put that other leg on top and you can't relax, it's all tensed up because it's too much, then take it back off, okay? But at the same time, don't be a wimp. If it's just because it's really sore, suck it up, get on with it. Let's get some goodness back into these legs, okay? So ankles, jammed up tight. How often do you hear me going on about ankles, okay? Especially those who see us face to face, who are fortunate enough to see us face to face, should I say. Okay, you hear me harping on about ankles constantly, okay? It's a huge factor in how you move, especially when we're doing things like squats. If your ankles are jammed up tight, everything up from there is not going to be moving correctly, okay? And it's one of the key major players as to why people can't squat properly. Why they can't do a lie down stand up properly, why they can't do a burpee without spreading their legs apart like they're trying to do the splits. They can't do an inchworm properly, they end up doing that big awkward inchworm where they can't bend their leg. That's why, get your ankle mobility done. But I know that those people won't be watching this and those people will not be on live. So, you know, we waste our breath, but I'm happy to waste my breath to them, okay? Because they're the same people that will be moaning that they're injured next week. Oh. And it's the same people you hear, oh, I really need to do that. I really need to do that stuff. Yep, whatever, okay? That's all I say to you. Don't waste my time. So side to side. Don't forget all our techniques here. So I'm pushing down, right? Okay, now I'm moving this other leg out the way. You don't have to move your other leg, it's so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to start rotating that foot, lifting the foot up, down on that area of high pain, okay? And what we should feel is it enhance, stretching, shortening the muscle tissue while we're pinning it on the foam roller, but you don't have to move your leg away, I'm just moving it away so you can see. So keep trying to get as much weight on there as you scrub. Focus on those areas that are causing you bother, if there are any. Get stuck into them. So remember, Don't just roll up and down, side to side, scrub it every way possible. Ah. So if you're really getting stuck into an area of high pain and it feels horrendous, okay, you'll find that everybody reacts a bit differently. If you really go for it and you really push into that pain, okay, you'll see some people will laugh, crazy people like me, this is so. You've got other people who'll break down in tears, okay? It's like a release of, I don't know, stress and energy that you're holding in this area. So if either of those things happen to you, don't worry, you're not alone, it happens. But really go for it. Okay, that's why you really need to try and get stuck into it, as painful as it may be. And trust me, I know, because I'm on one of the worst spots I've felt in a long time. And it's a classic case of, you know, I've been feeling this getting tender recently. It's starting to build up. It's starting to get painful. So that would be a key time. Let's get stuck into this and stop it becoming something that it could potentially cause me to stop training. Okay, so we catch these things early. This is just feeling horrendous. But funny old thing, I can feel exactly where it's coming from. So you feel little aches, little minor injuries and things starting to happen to your body. If you catch them early, before they become a big issue, good. But a lot of people will just fight through it. Ignore it. Keep taking it out of their body and then wondering why they're broken most of the year round. Right, everybody, we're going for another 60 seconds. 60 more seconds, please. So make the most of it. Again, try to get some goodness into the whole lower leg. So now I'm up onto the calf, onto the gastrocnemius, that big thicker bit of your calf, you know, the bit you can grab. Okay, the more pronounced part of your calf, the gastrocnemius, that's the one I'm on now, and that's one we don't do very often. We usually focus on the ankles, but again, you focus on the area that you need to focus on. Just because I'm on there doesn't mean to say you need to be. Side to side, get the full width of the leg in as well, don't forget. Dear, oh dear. It feels horrible, but it feels good at the same time. It feels like we're doing some good to our bodies here. Not right now, but for the long term. Right, okay everyone, before you move off the foam roller, work with me here. I want you to move it up to the highest point of your lower leg. So just below the knee. Okay, just below the knee joint. Look what I'm doing. See how I'm going side to side? See how that muscle's just completely relaxed against the foam roller? I want you to start doing that. Okay, I want you to push hard into the foam roller. I want you to keep that action going. Okay, look at the muscle, look at your leg, your own leg. You should see that muscle tissue moving softly across the foam roller. Okay, I want you to keep that going. The whole way down to your ankle. When you get to an area of high pain, just push hard into it. Go. Stay as relaxed as you can. Try not to wince. And I know it's not easy, especially when you're grinding over those big, painful spots. Okay, keep it going. I'm about halfway down now. Okay, we're all doing this together. I don't want you to stop. I don't want you to stop. This is us. We're just scrubbing the entire length now, putting a bit of goodness in, as if you're going for a massage. Okay, hit, hit, hit. We're not focusing on a key area now. We're just doing the entire length and the entire width of my lower leg until I start to get to that point where my Achilles starts to be exposed, hit, and then I stop. Boom. Okay, so hopefully that felt like it's put some goodness back in to one calf, and now we're going to do the other one. So let's go for it. Boom. If you need a drink, get one. If you don't need a drink, let's crack on. So happy with that, everybody on live? That makes sense so far. Good in-depth bit of calf work into the ankles. So we're spending a bit of time getting into the ankles first. Okay, close to the joint, trying to restore a bit of order down there, and then we're going to get into here as well. So again, 4 to 5 minutes. Let's make the most of it now. So straight away, side to side, concerning myself with those areas that of high pain. That's what matters to me. Okay, the little areas of tender pain, just you scrimp over them, push hard into them, try to get a bit of work on them, but don't spend time stopping. If it's not causing you that much drama, you're after the areas first and foremost that make you go, ah! Now, if you can't quite find those areas, you'll find when you're sweeping side to side, up and down, that you'll start to hit areas a bit more painful than the other. So if you hit an area that's a bit more painful than the other, just stay on it, start scrubbing it, and you'll find eventually it'll become an area of high pain. Not always, but it's probably because you're not relaxed fully. Okay, so when you're going side to side, you feel a bit of tenderness. Scrub it side to side, left to right. That foot, okay, try to let the foot, imagine your foot's just gone dead, okay, flop, it's flopped. Okay, try to keep that going, because a lot of the time people will be doing this with their toes pointing up towards their shin. What happens then? Okay, the calf's contracted, isn't it? So we have to keep it feeling completely relaxed. Okay, so imagine that that foot's just gone dead. Dead weight, your whole lower leg is dead weight, completely relaxed. Keep scrubbing, and you'll find that it just takes sometimes a wee bit of work to fully relax. You might think you're relaxed, but your brain's probably trying to fight you pushing on this because it's painful, it doesn't want it. Okay, we don't want to inflict pain upon ourselves because that's just stupid. But we need to in this instance. So, we're going for it. Make the most of it, everybody. And it's down to you. I'm just trying to guide you. Always talking through it to try and give you a few key points, maybe get your head in the right place for it. But it's just like this, it's just like the home workouts. Okay, it's up to you. It's up to you. You could be on a spot that doesn't even feel like anything right now and just going la di da di da. Don't forget to move that foot around, and don't forget, if you can handle it. And that's not a test. I'm not saying that, can you handle it, like it's a test or good for you, you can. I'm not meaning it like that, but if you can handle it, get the leg on top. And if you can handle it, it simply means that you've got that extra weight on top. It feels like hell, okay, but you're able to keep the muscle tissue relaxed and you're still able to scrub while keeping it relaxed. That's what I mean by can you handle it, okay? It's not a case of, yes, I can. Ah! Okay, that doesn't work. It's not what we're after. Just stay relaxed. Keep that foot. Keep checking that foot, okay? Make sure it is completely relaxed. That's the key giveaway of whether you're relaxed or not. Does that foot of the leg that you're smashing, is it just completely relaxed, or is it kind of fighting, pointing up a little bit? Oh dear, oh dear. So if you are finding a lot of areas of high pain, what is pain? It's like a warning, isn't it? Ha! Warning. Treat it as such. If you're finding a lot of areas of high pain down in anything that we're doing when it comes to this stuff, treat it as a warning, okay? Fix it now, otherwise deal with the consequences later down the line, okay? This might not be the most convenient thing for you in your hectic, busy life to spend 2 minutes each day working on an area that's causing you a wee bit of jip, but simply look at it as this: when it becomes and develops into an injury that puts you out the game for weeks or potentially off and on for the rest of the year, okay? Is it a waste of time? I know I would rather do this stuff. No one wants to be injured, but a lot of the time, people don't really do much to try to prevent their injuries. We've all got our own little niggles, we've all got our own little pains, little problem areas, previous injuries, etc. we've dealt with that might creep up constantly. Okay, we all manage it differently. Some people make a habit of trying to prevent it happening again or prevent any future injuries happening, whereas other people just, you know, they're like, they don't even bother. Okay, they just go out, smash the body, train, injured, off for a few months, all that progress lost, back to square one, don't do anything about it. As soon as they're better, back to smash. Don't do anything about it, hurt themselves again, make all that progress and lose it all again, okay? But sometimes it takes people doing that process a few times before they finally fall into looking after themselves. And I was guilty of that. We're all guilty of that. When we're younger, we can throw our body into a lot, it recovers faster, it's a lot more forgiving at all the different stupid things we do to it, okay? And then as we start to get older, it's less forgiving. Those pains become pronounced. The battering that you maybe put your body through in previous life start to haunt you a bit, but it's never too late, okay? I'm not making it sound like it's all doom and gloom, but sometimes it takes people a few injuries to finally go, right, wait a minute, what I'm doing here, this recipe I'm following isn't working, I need to change something here. And that's what works for me doing this stuff, okay? For me, I feel the difference. okay? You push your body hard, you do start to feel little niggles and pains, etc. Of course you do. And for me, doing this stuff simply allows me to keep doing the stuff that I enjoy, that makes me feel good, okay? Because we don't get to the end of a mobility class and we're like high-fiving the sky and going, yes, feel great, endorphins are flying around. No, we don't, okay? But it's exercise that lets us get that. So we keep doing this stuff so that we can keep pushing ourselves and keep doing the stuff that makes us feel happy. Right, everybody, we are up. We're going to do it all together again. Last 30 seconds or so. Get yourself just below the knee joint. Yep, we're on there now. Hit, side to side, full width. Look at the muscle. Is it relaxed? Okay, is it spreading out across the surface of that foam roller? Side to side, all the way down, okay? So all I'm doing is just side to side, move down an inch, side to side, move down an inch, side to side. Okay, really pushing down hard. You find areas of high pain, push down hard into them, but try not to stop. I'm just going for the full width now, putting in a bit of goodness into the entire length of that lower leg, and we're all going to do it together. Okay, I'm about halfway there, just for your own guide. Also, it gives you a chance to really get to know what you're dealing with here when it comes to future ankle mobility sessions, which could be tonight for yourself, it could be tomorrow, making it up part of your little mobility overhaul yourself, okay? Again, it doesn't need to be an hour that you do mobility overhaul. These classes are good because they make you do it. Holds you accountable, holds me accountable. Right, catch a drink. You're going to need a wall. We're going to stretch the ankles out now. You know the ankle stretch by now. You're going to need a wall or a bench or something that you can wedge your foot against that's not going to move. I'm using my bench, a wall superior. It's just, you know, if I use my wall, I'm off shot. So all I want you to do, everybody, before you get into it, because people are guilty of doing this where they've just got their toes stretched, okay? So if you look like that, what you can see me doing now, see how my toes are getting a good stretch? Stretching my toes, which, yep, is maybe a good thing for my toes, but I'm not getting my ankles done. You're just going to slide down the wall. So I want you to lean back, lean back, lean back, lean back. Get the toes as high up the wall as you can and get the ball of the foot on the wall, okay? Now, at this point, I do a quick test so I know if I'm going to be wasting my time. I push hard forwards. Does my foot budge? Does it move? Does it slide? Yes. Then you need to get set up better. No, perfect, okay? If you feel you're wedged and you're anchored, you can push all your weight down and nothing moves, that's what we're after. Now, what I want you to do is looking at your kneecap should always be in line with your toes, as in don't let it cave in the way, okay? It probably won't cave out the way, but if you've got any tightness, you'll probably find it starts to cave in the way. Don't give into that, okay? I want you to push the kneecap forwards, 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 as if you're trying to get your knee to touch the wall. So that's what I want you to visualize first. When you do that, you're going to feel a great stretch down towards your ankles, and that is what we're after, everybody. So I'm straight up, square against the wall, and I'm pushing my knee forwards. Now, to enhance this stretch, I can start shifting my body closer, but as I shift closer, make sure that this knee, so you know how I'm trying to push my knee towards the wall, a lot of people get real high, real close, and then they straighten the leg out, so now I'm bringing it into the calf. Okay, so make sure you don't do that. Make sure you've got that knee pushed forward. That's the most important part of this stretch, knee pushing forwards. Keep that knee pushing forwards, and if you want to enhance it, shift forwards, but make sure you're enhancing it. Okay, make sure that you're not actually just moving forward and straightening that leg out. Okay, we want this knee bent and pushing forward continually. So I'm constantly pushing forward, applying pressure. It's a static stretch. Okay, I'm trying to have an argument. I'm trying to have an argument with my brain here, okay? And that's a simple way to look at it. If you ease out or you stop or you give up, you've just given your brain that argument, okay? It's just won that argument. So I'm continually trying to push forward more and more, apply more pressure, more and more, enhance the stretch. I'm trying to develop my mobility here, my flexibility, sorry. Trying to develop it, not maintain it. And that comes with a bit of gentle persuasion, okay? My brain's telling me, no, it's contracting the muscle. It's trying to stop me. I'm trying to push through what I'm doing just now, okay? Trying to take it further and further and further. So those of you who have tight ankles, this is your number one go-to stretch, okay? So get it done and combine it with your mobility work. Okay, I would always suggest that you do the foam rolling, smash it out, okay? Work on the mobility first, and then stretch it out. 30 more seconds, so at this point now you should feel like you are going for it, more than you've gone for it yet. Pretty simple stretch, this one. You don't need any equipment. You don't need to go outside. You don't need to even move out the room. You just need a wall, okay? So if you've got bad mobility, woofed, I don't see any excuses, frankly. Get it done. Good. And then slowly ease out. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Okay, walk around. It'll feel nasty, of course it will. Okay, and then all we're going to do is just simply change legs. Okay. So it's perfectly, well, it's not perfectly normal. Maybe I'm not normal. I'm pretty sure I'm not. But my left ankle's always tighter than my right, okay, when I'm starting out. So it always takes me a bit of persuasion, okay, to get this stretch going. So when I've got that foot high up, if you look at my knee now, okay, I'm struggling to bend that, and I'm not just doing this for the sake of it. This knee, I'm really struggling to bend because it's so tight, okay? So as a result, I'm not really feeling a stretch on the actual ankle joint, okay? I'm feeling more pressure than anything else. So what I usually do and what I recommend, this is what will happen if you're pretty jammed up tight, okay? If your ankles are that tight, this is probably the same predicament you're in. And that's what I would say to you. Look at your kneecap, try to push it forward, even if it doesn't really move. Keep making sure that you're pushing it forward in line with your toes and just start rocking, okay? Now, I don't want you to do this for the full stretch, but you just starting to rock will help relax things a bit faster, okay? So I'm just starting to rock it until I start to feel a damn good stretch starting to creep in. Once I've got that stretch sensation, boom, okay, that's me, I'm started. So I'm going to push my knee forward continuously, okay? So rather than try to shift more weight into it, first of all, you're trying to push the knee forward to get that stretch down towards the ankle joint itself, okay? So keep it going. And if you still feel like it's tight, keep the rocking going. I don't really want to be rocking for the full time. I want to be getting a stretch on here. So today we're going for a really in-depth overhaul of the lower leg. Now when it comes to feet is an entire session by itself. That's how much we can do with the feet themselves. So for the feet today, it'll just be a little bit of mobility work. It won't be the full foot overhaul class like we've done before. But what I'm going to start doing is start going into these in-depth areas again like we've been doing. We've done these a while back. Okay, we're always continually working through full body. Okay, always. Sometimes we'll do full body. Sometimes we'll isolate a key area. Sometimes we'll team sum up. And again, still use that process to go through full body. So we're going to start working through key areas, group them up, and get a bit more in-depth stuff done now going forwards for the next few mobility overhaul classes. Get your schoolwork done. Beat it. Good. So try to take it further and further and further, everyone. Keep going for it. Get it done. Good. And again, if things are feeling that jammed up tight, it's like fitness. People feel unfit, they get put off, they don't want to do it anymore, or they don't want to come back to whatever it is they've done that made them feel like crap. If your ankle mobility is feeling that tight, you need to get on it, okay? Trust me on that one. You need to get on it because you're going to start getting problems. You've probably already got them. Dodgy knees. If you exercise a lot, sore ankles. Right, ease out, slowly, slowly, slowly. I think I've frozen in that position. Right, okay, walk around, shake out as always. Boom, that's us stretched out the calves, ankles. We're on to the rotten old feet now, okay? Now you're going to need to take your shoes off for this one, okay? Socks, it's up to you. If you're at home, take socks off by all means. But again, as I always say, keep your toes away from the camera lens because I might just catch a glimpse and it'll put me off because I've not had my breakfast yet. I like to save my breakfast for after these classes. So don't put me off my breakfast, please, by showing your big scabby feet on the lens, okay? And I won't insult you by taking my socks off either, okay? So, tennis ball again. Really, tennis ball's pretty pointless on this, but again, silly old me, I've left it at home. So, use your massage ball here. We're going to do another familiar one. We're going to smash out the plantar fascia at the bottom of your foot, okay? So, again, if you're not sure, if you're sure, go, 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 get into it now. If you're not sure, you've got the ball of the foot, the bone, okay? You've got the heel bone. It's not a heel bone. You've got the heel of the foot, okay? And all we're doing is working on that soft area, the fascia in between there, that connective tissue, okay? Because that should be soft and supple. But even if you do it every day, keep doing it every day. I would encourage you to do it every day because there's no reason why. Now stand up for this one, okay? Because you want to get maximum weight on the... What are you doing sitting down? Get up. So pushing down into the ball, okay? Treat it like anything else. Don't go forwards and backwards. Don't go forwards and backwards because that just feels nice, okay? I want to work against the grain. So I'm working from either the heel to toe or working from toe to heel. But remember, we're not on the bone. So side to side, see, this is why you don't use a tennis ball. Complete waste of time. I'll be honest, see with a tennis ball, I don't feel anything. That's why you need your massage ball. So for you at home with your massage ball, you're going to feel this one. So I'm going side to side, okay? And when you feel that area of high pain, you push down hard, okay? You push down hard and imagine you're trying to get the whole foot to collapse around that ball, okay? You can scrub side to side, but of course it's going to be very small scrubs. Now this is very important, okay? You hear me going on about feet all the time, okay? It's such an important thing, okay? Your feet have carried you through all your life and all your troubles and stresses and highs and lows, okay? We need to look after them. They get forgotten about. They get completely forgotten about. Your feet get abused like no other part of your body, okay? That's why they're hoaching. So your feet can take a real beating. Yep, we get toes deformed. Yep, we've got all sorts of problems with them. And it's because, you know, I won't go into the whole argument of whether we should be barefoot or not. That's your decision. It doesn't really matter, okay? That's not my job. But keep your feet out your shoes as long as you can. And stay away from flip-flops, okay? As often as you can. So if you're letting your feet air, you know, maybe you've done something pretty intense, you've been out walking all day or something and you want to let your feet air, don't walk around with flip-flops on, just walk around with hee-haw on, okay? And if you're out and about, put some of those Jesus sandals on if you must, okay? But you get my point. Don't walk around in flip-flops because they're hellish for your mobility. And you'll feel it when you're walking. You've got to try and brace your foot every time you walk to try and keep the blooming things on. Not that you'll ever catch me wearing nice sandals, just to be clear. In case you see me on holiday with my white socks. No. Okay. So I would encourage you, try to go as barefoot. No, don't unmute yourself. I don't want to hear it. What you got to say?
You would actually pass as Jesus at the moment.
Just wait till I've got a ponytail. It'll not be long. That's the problem though. My hair doesn't grow down, it grows out. And it just keeps growing out. Right, okay, I want you to change feet there. Okay, so this is one that I'd honestly, I don't just say this, I do this one every day. Not with a tennis ball, of course, because you can see it's a disaster. Okay, so I'm going side to side, finding those areas of high pain. Now you go the full width of your foot. You go the full width of your foot. So what was I saying there before? Again, I was very rudely interrupted. What was I saying? Aye, so try to go barefoot as often as you can. You put footwear on, it's going to restrict you, it's going to start jamming those feet up, okay? Our feet can't move properly. No wonder we start to get all sorts of pains and mobility-related issues with our feet. And again, think about it like I was talking about earlier. If you've got a problem with your foot, okay? If you've got a problem with your foot, pain, discomfort, okay, bad mobility, that's going to start reflecting up. And what's up? Okay, that's a problem with your feet. Everything, every other part of you is up. Okay, it's not like it's here and then we've just got up here or here and then up here. You've got everything. Okay, so if you've got problems with your feet or pain in your feet and you start moving around, your body's going to start compensating how you move. Okay, and a lot of the time, you know, pain in the knee could be stemmed off of your body moving you slightly differently. You might be running with a weird tilt in your pelvis and stuff like that. And then we start getting problems in the hips. And it's all because something simple. This is me not saying that's why you've got a sore hip, by the way, you know this. But I'm making a point, okay? If your feet aren't looked after, it can cause problems to all other parts of your body quite easily, okay? So please look after your feet, look after them because they'll carry you and they'll look after you. But if you're wearing stupid shoes and you're cramming them in, high heels are the worst. Okay, take it from me. High heels are the worst. Okay, you are walking around like this with that horrific strain on your ankles. You develop the worst possible. Your foot ends up relaxing in this state. So if you watch me now, okay, it's relaxed in this state. So it then starts to lose that range there. So we get horrific ankle mobility. Even though when you put your high heels on, you'll find you can squat probably deeper than you've ever squatted before. Okay, again, take it from me. But that puts it back to the whole book reference. Okay, remember I was saying test your ankle mobility out by standing your heels up in some books and try squatting. And if you squat a lot deeper, you know that you've got a lot of tightness in your ankles you need to address. Okay, so anyway, foot is done. Foot is done. So that's your plantar smash. Okay, that's a very important one. You can do that daily. I would recommend you do it daily. Anytime, you know, if you've been out working, you've got your shoes off, take your shoes off. Rather than put them in your silly old foot spa thing, okay, this thing is much more effective. Okay, get stuck in and smash the hell out of them. Try to restore that suppleness. Try to get them nice and spread out again. Now your feet, treat them like anything. We're going to be doing a foot overhaul class pretty soon. Okay, we'll be doing a lot of mobility movements, etc. for your feet. We'll do that probably next time, in fact, because the feet are an important one. You need to learn how to look after them. So I don't even know if I was off on one there. Was I about to tell you something? Who knows? We're done. Okay, that's all you need to know. We're done. Thank you very much for coming. We will do the feet a bit more in depth though, just in case you think, is that it in terms of feet? Rather than rush through multiple things, I'll just feel that we're touching on them, we'll stop there. And then next time we'll get stuck into the feet a bit more in depth. Thank you very much. Hopefully you had a good day. And again, if you're watching this for the first time, do not use a tennis ball. Okay, even though you see me using one, it's the first time I've ever, out of 70 odd classes, it's the first time I've ever forgotten my massage ball. And you know what? I will never forget it again now. So have a good day, and I'll see you all later. How was that? How was that? Pretty uncomfortable? Pretty good? I thought it would be. It's one of them. It's what?
Do you think you're improving? Does anybody think the pain is actually getting more manageable?
No. No.
I wonder when you're scrubbing it and things, it kind of.
So what? Here's a point to note, just in case you're sitting there thinking, because you probably are, I'm not getting any better at this, am I doing it right? It's one of them. See today, you know, for example, I went a run last night, so it's really tender, it's really sore. That was horrific today, probably the worst it's ever been. But had I not been that run last night, it would probably be feeling no quite as bad. It's a case of you'll find that on your key areas, you're able to get more weight down, you're able to scrub and push in a lot harder than you normally can, but then there'll be certain times when, you know, the muscles are tender, the muscles are damaged. So for example, if you go and do a lot of, I don't know, heavy squats, etc., and your glutes are absolutely killing you, you'll be wincing just sitting on that ball. Whereas any other day of the week, when you haven't done that, you might be feeling like you can really go for it. So overall, you know, you should feel yourself able to deal with more, as in you're getting more weight down on there overall. But then there's going to be times when the muscle tissue's damaged, the muscle tissue's inflamed, because that's what happens when we push our bodies hard. That's all part of the process. Damage, repair, we get stronger, better. But the problem is people just keep damage, maybe don't let enough time to recover. This is a key part of recovery, and then eventually the body gives in and you start hurting yourself. So you should be feeling an improvement, but there will be key areas that are just constantly feeling like you're not really getting improvement because they're always sore, they're always aching. But if you've got an area that is causing you jip on a daily basis, as in a wee bit of pain here and there, a wee bit of strain, then make it part of your day. And that's what I mean by the 2 minutes each side. Okay, you don't need to sit down and do a full, you know, if you've got a wee bit of bother with your calf, you don't need to sit down. Great if you can, but you don't need to sit down for an hour and do a full class. You can just smash out whatever ones you know you need to do in a case of 5 minutes. And a lot of the time you can do this stuff while you're doing other stuff. But that makes sense?
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Good.
Have you got any ball, Calves? No, I've still got my double.
You could probably just saw that in half.
You know, it worked fine. The only time is when we did the neck one last. Remember the neck one? That was magic, but it's a wee bit awkward when you're trying to roll it up, kind of, when you've got the two there. But
We don't want to know.
just keep it around.
It's good though. That's designed for working around your spine. That one. That's called a peanut, believe it or not. That's the one that's designed. So you've obviously got your spine, and I'm always telling you not to foam roll your spine. That's designed for working down along your spinal erectors, along down your whole spine. So you keep your spine in the centre of the balls, okay, and you work your way up. That's what that one's good for. But I lent mine out to someone, and someone's still got it, and I've no idea who the hell got it. Terrible.
What is it? A what?
I had one.
A dinosaur?
Jeez, oh. I gave someone a loan of my dinosaur.